So here's a quick way to make the Earth. So when you open up Blender, we're going to delete this cube by hitting X. So X, delete, and then we're going to add a sphere. So Shift A, and then I have all these choices. I'm going to go sphere. And I want this sphere to be a little higher quality, so I'm going to go to this wrench and add a modifier. And the modifier is all the way in the second column toward the bottom, subdivision surface. And I hit apply. And then over in this tools panel, I'm going to hit smooth. So let's just look from the camera view by hitting 0 and move in. So Shift F, and then we'll like walk forward with W. Okay. So let's make the ocean. So over here there's a circle that's kind of red. This is for material. We'll add a new material and we'll make it like ocean blue. So now if we render, this is what we're looking at. Now to make the continents, we're going to add basically continents on top of that. So we're going to duplicate this sphere. So if I hit Shift D, you can see I made a duplicate, but I'm going to right click to cancel its movement. It's still there, but right click centers it. And then I'm going to scale it. I'm going to scale it up just a hair by hitting S, and then there, just a hair, and click to select. So now I want to give this a new material. So I deleted that old blue material with the minus sign. And if you want to see that there are two spheres, if you hit Z, you'll enter wireframe mode, and you can see that there's two different things I'm selecting. So we'll select the outer one and give it a new material. We'll make this one green. And I'm going to turn off this thing called specular intensity. It makes this white, so it makes that white shine. So I'm going to turn that off. And now I need to give this earth the texture of the continent. So over here, next to the materials, is the texture tab. And I'm going to select that and hit new texture. And I want to select an image, so I'm going to go open, and I've already saved this image of the world map. And here's what the world map looks like. But if you go into rendered mode, it doesn't look right. And that's because we need to, right now it's projecting that image onto every face of the object, and we want it on the whole generated object. So now it still doesn't look quite right. It looks strange and stretched, and that's because it's taking the flat picture and just stretching it over the sphere. But we want to, so under generated, select sphere. So now it's kind of, we want the green to be the continents, and we want this to be clear. So I'm going to turn off color, and I just want to use what's called the alpha channel. So nothing's happened yet because we need to go back to the material. So just be sure to check alpha, go back to the material, and we'll turn on transparency, and we'll make the other parts transparent. So still, we're not quite where we need to be. We need to go to the original sphere. So if you go into wireframe mode here, or you can just hit Z. So right now this is the outer, now I select the inner, and I need it to, so I scroll to the very bottom of the material and hit receive transparency. So now this is what we have, and sometimes when you scroll around you'll see these weird like artifacts and distortions, but if you hit render, that all goes away. So there's the earth. For the final step, let's make the background black, let's add some stars. So let's go back to the texture, scroll up, and normally we were in materials, but now we want to go into the world setting and add a new texture. And instead of an image, we just want it to be this selection called stuck eye, so toward the top. And I'm just going to get out of rendered mode to make this faster. So here's our stuck eye texture. We'll shrink it down to a really small size. We'll select wall in, which creates these dimples, and then under colors we'll choose ramp, which basically gives us, we can crank the black up. If we were to render it now, we still wouldn't see those stars though, because we need to tell it toward the bottom of the texture panel, we need to tell it that we want it to influence like the horizon and basically influence the sky. So now, if we hit render, we have an earth and stars. And if you don't like that many stars, go back to the texture and basically just drag more black. And you can even drag more black. Yeah. So that's it.